Testing the audio. Testing the audio. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You know, I'm going to start something a bit different. Well, not too different. In fact, I'll show you in a second, but this picture is one that I've just finished working on. This was for a lesson for MJS TV. You can check out link in the there or in the description. But this lesson is going to be, I think it's October, this is going to be released. Obviously, it's a tree lesson, but it goes into really great depth into how to paint those very close trees. If you haven't checked it out already, go and have a look at Michael James Smith TV. There's loads of content on there. I think there's over 45 lessons now. They're all filmed in real time. Definitely worth checking that out. But I'm not going to be working on this picture. So let's get rid of that for a moment. Now, I don't know whether you remember, but a few videos ago, I was working on this. And actually, was just working on that square in the middle there. And I was trying to show you, I was showing you how to get a very realistic painting without being overwhelmed. In fact, once again, there's a pop-up link there, so check that out as well if you want to see how I did that. But now I'm going to be working on the remainder of the picture. So we can get rid of that bit because he's been done. And we have the rest of the photo here. As you can see, it's a little bit cut out, but that was that. So essentially what we're going to be doing now is working on some more of this lovely landscape here. And probably, I think I'm going to work, we have a choice. I can either show you how I'm going to do this side or the mountains in the background. I think we're going to work on the mountains in the background. So to start working over here, what this area needs is a little bit of texture. So we have this, which is the lightest colour really of the mountains, but obviously I'm going to put in trees. Let me just show you the photograph. So as you can see, in this area there are trees on the mountain. There are little darker shades. There are some areas that are just barely darker, and then there are some that are quite a bit darker, very much a blue. So I'm going to put in the colours first of all, that just adding the slightest texture, so not doing too much. And I think to begin with, I'm going to use the Series 3 size 3/8, also available from my website, shopmichaeljamessmith.com. And I'm going to do that with a glaze. So this glaze has been made up of, say, 50% liquid original, and then equal measures of white, ivory black, and French ultramarine. I've got hardly anything on the brush there, and I'm just going to drag the brush down in the general direction that the mountain is sort of falling here. And it's just putting in the tiniest little marks, which is perfect. So that is the first bit of texture. Now what I'm going to do is add those darker little areas, and I'm going to do that with the Series 1 size 0. So this is going to be a little bit less of a glaze now. We're actually putting more colour into the picture here. Still using very much a blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of titanium white, but mainly French ultramarine blue. So this part of the mountain here, of course, is having this tree covering over the top of it. So we don't need to be actually super neat under there. And I think one of the dangers I'm going to have is not putting enough foliage and detail underneath this. It doesn't have to be accurate detail, but there has to be something. So I'm going to go with the tree and texture. This is the series 3 size 3/8, and I'm going to just almost stipple a little bit more detailing on there. So as we did before with the lighter grey, I'm going to add just a little bit more kind of contrast in a way. Not too much. And then using the comber brush, I'm going to add a little bit more of the trees that we can see there. Okay, so now I'm using this is the dagger, the ivory dagger, series 9. And I'm just using the point of this just to start getting in some of the closer areas of tree growing on the side of the mountain here. Could use the rigger brush, but because the rigger brush is so much smaller, it's just going to add quite a bit more time. And actually, as you can see, this ivory dagger works really well for certainly some distant leaves that canopies that I'm putting in here. Just using the very tip. The paint hasn't been thinned down at all, just straight from the tube, but it works really well for that. So we've got the mountain in place now. All I'm going to start doing is getting this tree in front of that mountain. We need to start off with the area of trees here. Of course, we have another trunk coming in over the top, but I'm just going to now add the darker tones in here, very much as I have done with this bit. Then I'm going to add the branches, and then we'll go with the lighter tones. So with these branches, I'm using a rigger brush, the smallest rigger brush that we do, and I've thinned the paint down with, actually this time I've used Galkid medium. I'll leave a link in the description below, but it's really important that you get the density correct of the branches, especially when you're painting over something that is in the background like these mountains or a sky. Getting the thickness of the branches correct and the amount of branches that you can see there is really important. Okay, so this is the Series 4 fan brush now. It's actually really good for working on leaves. And I'm just going to build up the density now, the darker colours, before we then go over with the highlights. So that is that lesson for today, at least. I'm going to continue with that painting in further lessons, but just gives you an idea of how I approach that type of painting. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do check out my online school, www.michaeljamesmith.tv. There is another website that pretends to be me. It's not. Don't get sucked in. I also have a store website separate from the online school. That is www.shopmichaeljamesmith.com. Both the links are down below. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.